Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Kelly. This is KBellaBeauty. And before we get into the video, I have been a little MIA on social media and with my YouTube videos because of this little girl here. Now, I did mention her in some of my previous videos. This is Royce, and she is a French Bulldog. She's 4 months old, and she was my 30th birthday gift. I wanted a Frenchie for so long. We already have a boy Boston Terrier, Bentley, that has been in some of my other videos. So now Bentley, after 7 years, has a little sister, this little girl here, but she's a little terror. So I just wanted to introduce her to you guys, but she's gonna have to go while I film the rest of the video. Okay. So now that that is out of the way, we can finally jump into the video. I'm a little late to the upload game because of Royce, but I do want to share my thoughts on the Tartelette Toasted palette. I did pick this up during the Sephora VIB sale, and I'm currently waiting for 2 more products to come in, and then I'm gonna film my haul. So this video I'm planning on putting up today. I'm filming on Wednesday. I wanna edit, and I wanna get this video up so that I can share my thoughts on this palette. So if you're interested in seeing some swatches and hearing what I think about the Tartelette Toasted palette, go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so the Tartelette Toasted palette is my very first Tarte eyeshadow palette. I've been wanting to try Tarte Cosmetics for a while, and their Tartelette palettes are pretty popular. I know there's like an original Tartelette palette and then a Tartelette in Bloom, which was raved about, I want to say maybe a couple years ago, and now Tarte has jumped on the warm toned bandwagon and they have come up with the Toasted palette. Now I think this packaging is really beautiful. I like that they kind of have like animal print on the front. It's just gold on the back. You can see, looks kind of dirty. Let me see if I can clean it off. Because it does have like this mirrored texture, it can kind of pick up on fingerprints, but this palette overall is really beautiful. You do have a nice sized mirror in the top, and then you have your 12 eyeshadows, and this palette retails for $46, which I think is pretty fair, because if you think about the Urban Decay Naked palettes, I'm pretty sure those have 12 eyeshadows as well, and those retail for $52. So this palette is $46, but it doesn't come with any kind of eyeshadow brush or primer or anything like that. But as you can see, they are all very, very warm toned shades. So let's go ahead and get into some swatches, and then I'm going to share my thoughts about this palette with you. So in the first row, you do have S'more, Sunrise, Sunset, and Crackle. It does look like S'more is just a matte shade. It's just kind of an all-over base shade. Sunrise appears to have a bit of a sheen, but it doesn't really pick up on the eyes. I kind of use that to like blend out my crease shade. Sunset is a beautiful lid shimmer shade. And then Crackle, and I have to be honest, I have not used Crackle just because of the chunky glitter. I'm not really into the chunky glitter, so Crackle is the only shade in this entire palette that I have not tried out and that I probably won't use. So to be able to use 11 out of 12 shades is really, really nice. Then in the middle row, we have Cashmere and Warmth, which are matte shades. You have Flame, which is your shimmer eyelid shade, and then you have Cozy, which is a matte as well. All of these are super warm. I really like the name Cozy because these colors just kind of feel cozy. But I like that these shades all kind of go together to create a beautiful eye look. And then in the last row, you have Candle, which is a shimmer shade. You have Latte, which is a matte. Simmer, which is a shimmer shade, and Fireside, which is a matte as well. And one thing that I really like about this palette is that I feel like each row kind of goes together. Of course, you can mix and match the shades however you'd like, but if you take a look at each one of these rows, it kind of looks like the colors in the row go together. So if you're someone who maybe has a hard time deciding what shades to put together, you can kind of just go row by row and create a full look out of these shadows. So let's talk about my thoughts on this palette. As far as the eyeshadow goes, they are super pigmented and super blendable. If you're a beginner or you have a hard time blending, these shades blend like a dream. I would have to say that they're some of the easiest to blend that I have in my collection. I felt like just a couple swipes, it didn't matter what brush I was using, and they blended in nicely without blending the shadow away. They're also super pigmented. I didn't have to use too much product to get the look that I was going for. The matte shades are super creamy to the touch. They feel very smooth and very soft. These shimmer shades like Sunset, Flame, Simmer, those have more of a rough texture. They don't feel like grainy or gritty, but they do apply really nicely on the eye. However, I totally recommend using Fix Plus with the shimmer shades. With the mattes, I didn't have any problem with fallout. When I do dip my brush into the product, I get a little bit of kickback, but that doesn't really bother me. It's nothing like insane. But with the shimmer shades, when I do apply it onto my eyelid without Fix Plus, I do get quite a bit of fallout onto my under eyes. So unless you're doing your foundation after your eyeshadow, I totally recommend using Fix Plus because that just eliminates the fallout. So that's what I do. Plus it gives me a much more pigmented eye look anyway. Although I didn't have a problem with pigmentation before Fix Plus. The only shadow that I find to be super crumbly is Candle. Candle is like the highlight shade. I use it as my inner corner, but this one, like whenever I touch it with just a little bit of pressure, it crumbles a lot. It kind of reminds me of the Desi X Katy palette with Dose of Colors. Those shadows are beautiful, but the shade Suze, like if you just barely dip your finger into it, it's crumbling everywhere. And that's what Candle reminds me of, because if I just barely touch it, all of a sudden I have product everywhere. So that's my only negative, like as far as that eyeshadow goes. It's beautiful, it's pigmented, they blend nice, but Candle can be a little bit crumbly and kind of messy to work with. Overall, I'm really happy that I got this palette. Like I said, I don't have any other Tarte eyeshadow palettes. So are these shades super unique that I have nothing like them in my collection? No. It's all the rave right now, warm toned eyeshadows. Tarte just came out with their own warm toned eyeshadows. I think the name Toasted is perfect. These shadows all kind of remind me of like feeling warm and cozy and toasty, just like warm toned shades. So I think the names are super cute. I like warm toned shades. I don't feel like these are super unique, but I'm really glad I got the palette because I wanted to try out Tarte eyeshadows. And I've been wearing this every day for like 2 or 3 weeks now. I really love the eyeshadows. I'm just not a fan of Crackle and Candle, can be kind of messy, but all the others are amazing. They're super creamy, super blendable. I totally recommend this palette. If you've been eyeing it, if you don't have Tarte eyeshadows, or if you're just really into these shades, I think this palette would be a good addition to your collection because I'm really enjoying it, and I think $46 is a really good price tag for a palette like this. And of course, you can get this on Tarte's website, you can get it at Ulta, or you can get it at Sephora. That's gonna do it for this video, guys. I'm sorry if this review is a little on the shorter end, but I'm feeling a little rusty with my filming since I haven't filmed in like 2 weeks. But I have been playing with my Tartelette Toasted palette, and I did want to share some swatches with you guys and let you know my thoughts. If you are interested in seeing a 3-in-1 tutorial look using this palette, just let me know in the comments down below. And of course, if you've picked up this palette, I would love to know your thoughts on it. Are you enjoying it? Do you have the other Tarte eyeshadows? How do you think it compares to the Tartelette or the Tartelette in Bloom? I would love to hear your thoughts, or I would love to know if this guy is on your wish list for the holidays. Otherwise, that's gonna do it for this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. If you're new, I hope that you'll consider subscribing before you go, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.